You remember when we were little kids? The night I saw the lights. I heard this whispering voice.
Claire.
I never heard it again until yesterday.
Guys, this girl is the real deal UFO hunter, and she is gonna have some exclusive footage for us very, very soon.
See the formation?
The Phoenix Lights. How long has she been doing this?
She's been looking for the lights since she ran away from her fake mom.
Fake mom?
Yeah, like her foster mom.
Those orbs zipping back and forth across the valley all week.
I was out there all night, and I didn't see anything.
Now, I know you're UFO experts, but my theory is that these lights are drones.
What if they're not drones?
Just give me some good photos, okay? You got 2 nights.
You really have nowhere to go? Get in. There's people in there. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, it's okay.
How did you end up here?
We were lost. We follow this bright light.
Did you see 7 lights?
This light bring us to this house.
You're gonna get yourself killed with this ridiculous obsession!
I'm not losing my mind. People saw the lights, Tay, and I did too.
There's a reason we're here. There has to be.
Adios. Don't get abducted.
I know you're out here!
Everything changed that night. Everything.
There was a voice, and I saw the lights.
Claire, come back.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are so happy to have with us here today the director of a fantastic new film coming in called Star People. It's Adam Finberg. Hello, Adam.
Hello, William.
Now, Adam, I saw the movie yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a hodgepodge of a couple different things. It's a sci-fi alien movie mixed with like this desert immigration story. And it's funny. I know a thing or two about the Arizona heat and winter.
You're familiar, yeah. You survived a summer? Did you survive a summer out here?
Yeah, and are you out there in Arizona?
I am now based, yeah. I'm based in Arizona. I lived in LA 20 years, but now I'm in Phoenix.
Phoenix or like Glendale or Chandler? Which part?
Phoenix area, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, see, because it's not fun. It's not fun at all. It sucks. Let's talk about the first thing. Let's talk about the cast. You have Kat, McCabe, and Eddie as your 3 primary characters.
And Connor, yeah, Connor.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget Connor. I don't like him. Justin's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
How did you put this together?
How to put? Well, you mean like casting choices?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I worked with some very talented casting directors to help me kind of narrow it down. Helen Gear and Kendra Clark. They were kind of a casting team. We had conversations about what I was looking for, and then I just had to pour through tapes, and when I just knew I needed to find people that were very compelling, that I would feel their vulnerabilities and feel their believe that they were really obsessed. Like Kat was kind of the beginning. I mean, I had to find Claire before I could kind of figure out anything else. And Kat just had an amazing performance through, it's all through Zoom these days. So if you can see a Zoom performance, when you get it on a film set, it's going to be even more amazing. So once I had that, I was just a matter of finding someone whose chemistry worked with Kat and McCabe. Really, I believe that they were siblings with tension. I mean, from the moment I kind of put them in the same scene together.
Yeah, it's funny. You can kind of tell they have that brotherly, sisterly thing going on there. And I think and by they I mean Kat, does a great job with just portraying that urgency, that obsession over everything that they're trying to do. And I think that it's such a great characteristic of a good character to have a goal and to be obsessed over it. And as a movie watcher, we just want her to be right, so right all the time.
Yeah, I love obsessive characters. Like, I don't know. I'm motivated by obsessive characters. They just seem to really be interesting to watch.
Yeah,
my favorite movies.
think about it, some of the best TV characters of all time. Dr. House, for example, the reason that show's so good is because he's obsessed with finding the answer to weird questions. Just like Claire here is obsessed with what are those lights or what she thinks those lights are. Now, this is based loosely on a real life event that did happen in Phoenix in 1997, the Phoenix Lights.
The largest mass UFO sighting in U.S. history. Yeah, thousands of people saw these strange lights in the sky in 1997 in Phoenix and also some other parts of Arizona. And it's never fully been explained. There's been many specials and investigations done of it through the years. I was in high school at the time when it happened. I didn't see the lights, but I had a close family friend who saw the lights. And through the years, I also met others who had seen them. And everyone who's seen them described them as something very otherworldly. Like that the lights did not look like an aircraft light, did not look like flares, didn't look like anything. You know, the videos that exist don't do them justice, because back then there were only VHS video. It wasn't really any, nobody had high quality anything yet at that point. So, but yeah, it was just always, to me, it was always really interesting jumping off point for a story that delved into something deeper.
I wanted to touch on that, something deeper that you mentioned, because this is more than just a alien sighting film. It's not even that. That's just the catalyst for this entire other side plot that happens with Eddie's character Ricardo and his daughter Gabby and those characters, which I don't want to give too much away about that particular plot line, but that to me struck a bigger chord because my family are immigrants as well. Especially coming from a Central American country, and with the current heated climate revolving around that, I think this is the perfect time to put this out. Why was that the direction?
Well, it's interesting that this, I started writing this a few years ago, so it's not like I just wrote, people may see this and think, oh, he wrote that relating to what's happening right now. I mean, for me, growing up in Arizona, stories about migrants and what people, deaths along the border, and just there's always been stories about that as I was a kid. And as I learned about immigration, I found it really interesting that being a country of immigrants, that were just sort of repeating history in the same way the early 20th century, when Eastern Europeans and Irish and Italians, Jews, people that were migrating here during that time, were ostracized and blamed for all sorts of things. Very, very much like I think migrants have been demonized, in our country today. But the purpose of this film isn't to make any sort of statement on that. It was just really to have a human connection on, that it was through the human connection that our characters are able to find growth. And it's a very real, to me, it's a very real story, because the tragedies that happen under the radar day to day are just not reported on because people maybe just aren't interested, but there's constantly people struggling out in the desert out here.
It's true. It's great you mentioned the character depth of growth, because several of them, including McCabe's character, grow exponentially. And some of them, like another character who's very close to Claire, devolve and unravel as things start to occur. And I again, I'm trying not to give too much away because I want people to see the movie, because I did enjoy the movie very much. Let's start with this. What the film looks gorgeous. So when you're behind the lens, what are you looking for?
Well, for me to make the film work on a visual level, I had to come up with sort of a visual language for the film, of color choices, of geometry, of lines, of deep space and flat space. There were a lot of discussions. We had certain limitations as an indie film about what we could do, but you still had to make very specific choices on the set between lenses and where you put in the camera. And Aiden Chaperone, my DP, a very talented guy that I worked with and collaborated on to capture the beauty of the desert and also the drama that was going on. Brian Tooker also helped create all the VFX, like all the star shots. He had to put the stars into. They are from real stars, but none of it could be captured in real time, because you just can't film people and stars at the same time. It doesn't work. Can't expose for it all. But it all had to be very intentional about when we were showing stars and when we were showing lights and stuff like that.
I think that's really interesting. Now, this is your first non-doc feature, is that right? Like full
Yes,
length?
yeah, my first narrative feature. Yeah.
Yeah, because your other feature is the Business of Recovery, which is a really good documentary. I've seen it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What's it, how do you compare making a feature and making a doc? Because I feel like docs are slower.
They're just not. They're totally different beasts, but I mean, but there's also a certain. The thing that I think would say is similar is that you still have to build trust with your subjects on a documentary, and you have to build trust with your talent on a scripted film. So there are some certain similarities. I mean, the documentary actually influenced my writing of this script, because I'm sure you saw that in there, because I had met a lot of people struggling with drug and alcohol addiction, and that all, came through when I was developing this. But they're just, yeah, they're different beasts, I guess you could say. But I mean, as a filmmaker, I feel lucky that been able to create something in both spheres, I guess, because documentary is so different from narrative. But it's just part of my journey, I guess, because I don't think Star People would have probably never been written as it is, or had I not done that doc first. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of your experiences on that came through in McCabe's character, Taylor, because of the nature of that character. I think it makes him more of a realistic portrayal of what he is, because of your history with those issues from the doc. And so I got to commend you there. That's a hard thing to put onto film. You know what I mean? To make it believable and not overextend it or overdo it. And I'm sure McCabe did a great job getting out what you needed. But
Yeah,
also,
he was so great.
as a director, you guide some of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guide it to the extent that I have to create a space for McCabe, for my talent, my cast to be able to fully enter their vulnerable space, I guess is the best way to describe it. Because for him to be in that space is a I mean, that's their whole job, but it's not always. But my job is just to help be a facilitator, I guess you could say. Like that.
You ever taken a face dive into a cactus like that, Taylor?
Can't say I have, but
those
cactuses were all over the place out there. It was a little sketchy in the desert at times.
Yeah, I know a guy who had it happen. I don't drink, but he had one too many tequilas, and he ended up face flatted to a saguaro.
Ouch!
It wasn't good. And those things are huge. You ever seen this? You've seen a saguaro. Those things are huge.
I see. Yeah, they were all. I mean, we were out there in amongst the saguaro. I mean, that valley in the Superstitions was just filled with saguaros.
They're like 20 feet tall. They're crazy.
Yeah. Don't stand next to a saguaro in a windstorm. It's like.
Nah. You'll end up getting third partied there. It's not great. Now, every time I have a guest on for the first time, and this is the first time here, I always ask two very interesting questions, and it's just to get more familiar with you. The first one's real easy. Who are some inspirations for you?
Oh, some inspirations for me. Let's see. Well, Terry Gilliam's Brazil was always an early inspiration for me. I love that movie, and not only the themes that are covered in it, but just the visual storytelling, the production design in it. It's such a unique film. I was also very influenced by David Fincher's early work, as well as David Lynch, and also I've always been an Evil Dead fan since I was Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. I remember being one of my favorite films in the early '90s. Like, so those have all been. I think what I loved about those films is that Sam Raimi's ability to capture the point of view so well. This is such a unique. I mean, as a filmmaker, you're trying to capture a point of view, and like there was a very unique point of view captured in those films that has always been very close and endearing for me. I love those movies.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is just the most unhinged thing. It's great. It's great. Ash is just scenery left and right. It's great. I like that answer, but it actually ties to my next question, which is a little bit harder. If you had two movies to watch for the rest of your life, what two would you pick and why?
Oh my gosh, 2 movies to watch for the rest of my life? Yeah. 2 movies. Well, one would probably be Dune, the remake, not the original Dune, but the
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. The first one, not part 2, but the first one. I just think the design of that movie is so incredible. Like the way they was just such a unique take on the future and the technology, the tone. I mean, there was so much amazing filmmaking in that story, the soundtrack, you name it.
I think he did a good job of putting to film Herbert's original vision in the novelization, and that's such a hard thing to do. And I think Villeneuve did a great job on that.
Oh, he did, yeah, because you have to. I mean, filmmaking and book. I mean, they're just such different mediums, and you have to take liberties to make something work. I mean, I actually, after seeing that, I hadn't read the book, and then I read the book after watching that movie. It was so amazing. And I think my other movie would probably have to be Army of Darkness because I've watched that many times and would probably watch it again. Hail to the King, baby.
I love that. No, it's funny. We were just talking yesterday on our podcast about Blood Meridian, which they deemed unfilmable. That's the Cormac McCarthy novel, and apparently they're trying to make it. So, I mean, Dune was once originally seen as unfilmable itself, and here we are. We have two of them now. We have two versions of Dune and two Dune movies from Villeneuve. So I venture to guess that Blood Meridian will be an interesting thing to see on my screen.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever read it, but it's Cormac McCarthy. It's very good.
I haven't not read. No, it's something that just saying that it was unfilmable. I'm very excited to see how it's filmed.
It's extraordinarily violent, so that will be interesting.
There we go.
Villain is one of the most vile characters ever put to literature, so that'll be interesting to see how that's done. Now, I wanted to just give you a window here to talk to people and as to why they should check out your movie, because your movie does come out on what is it? The next Friday. It comes out like a week from now, right?
Well, this Friday, July 25th, it's in theaters in the Phoenix area in New York, and August 8th, it's in the theater in LA, and then August 12th, it'll be video on demand nationwide.
There you go. Yeah, I had the 25th as the release date, and it did debut last month at Dances with Films, right? Yeah,
we had our world premiere on June 28th at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood at Dances with Films Festival. It was a great festival and an amazing crowd. I mean, we had over 300 people in this beautiful screen. It was amazing. It was an experience. Going to a theater is like nothing else.
If you've never been to Dances with Films, it's one of the coolest experiences you'll ever have in the city of LA, because it's such an LA film festival, but it's also such a great film festival for fans of cinema. So I'm glad to know that this was one of the films they picked, because I really enjoyed it. So why should they check out the movie when it comes out?
Why should they? I think movies that are like Mark Berman, I think, quoted, like film as dream, like films that capture the idea of a dream and that ride the line about exploring the meaning of the human experience in life. I mean, look, Star People really, I felt like taps into those questions about our purpose in the universe and our connection to those around us. And I think the film is an experience for people to kind of open up their minds to how they can potentially look at what's around them and improve their place in the world.
That's about as high a calling as you can give a film.
I know that's a high one, but that's my 2 cents.
I like it. No, and I would say you guys should check it out, because it's a very good exploration of both obsession, but also of the human existence and what we as humans are put on our earth to do. Destino, if you will.
Destino.
Which is just Spanish for destiny, guys. You don't know how to speak Spanish. I don't know how to help you guys. But I think the film is great, and I really hope people will check it out. Thank you so much for any portion of your time today, Adam.
It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Talking to you. You have a wonderful rest of your day, man. I know you've probably got a packed schedule, or you're at least close to done.
I'm not sure. Whatever Emma says.
whatever they say. That's the correct answer. That's the right answer. She's a tough one. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.